Oh, duh. We had to click those buttons.
Hello. I was literally about to text you that. I felt like maybe you were supposed to turn on your camera.
Oh, can you guys see me? Can you
Hi,
see me?
everybody.
Oh my goodness, we were stressing out, and all I had to do was hit a little button that put us up. Look, you're not hiring me, you're not paying me, you're not coming to see me for my tech skills. Am I right? Have I proven that before? Well, I hope you guys know this is what you're going to expect for the next hour, all right? We don't know what's going to happen. This is our very, 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 very first time we are live streaming on YouTube for a full hour. We tested it last week for like 5 minutes, and it was fun, but we changed. Now we're using StreamYard, so I'm so glad it's working out. I'm so glad it's working out. So welcome, welcome. Thanks for the last notice, but I promise you it's going to make it worthwhile. Diane had to cancel her plans. She says, I'm going to cancel my plans to be here. I'm like, you won't regret it, girl. You know, so I said the same thing to you guys. If you had to change your plans real quick to come, you will not regret it. We're going to have a great time. We're going to get started right now because we're running out of time already. I've got daughter number 2, Tiara Cole, with me. As you guys know, she's my co-host on the Crazy Copy System live mentoring show. And she's so quiet and shy. You may have to help her come out of her shell during this hour. So what we decided to do was we went back and we looked at the Clayton Makepeace epic tribute, right? And had amazing people speaking there. And of course, I mean, without a doubt, to me, the most awesome one, the awesome speaker was a legendary copywriter who came out of retirement just for this occasion. If you notice, back in March, if you have not seen the Clayton Makepeace epic tribute, please go to my YouTube channel, click on it. It is gold, okay? So make sure you watch every single speaker. 17 speakers are on there, okay? These are A-level copywriters and marketers. So free for you because this is Clayton gave, and we wanted to make sure we gave to the copywriting community too. So make sure you catch every single one of those episodes at least twice, I've watched them 7 times or more myself. And I promise you, every time I go, I'm going, oh, that's a great idea. That's a great idea. So, you know, if I'm doing it and I'm at the A level, guess what you're going to do, you know, to get to that A level? The same thing, okay? So do that. But today what we're going to do is we're going to take Gary Bencivenga's 10 Maxims, and that was part 3 of the amazing tribute for Clayton Makepeace. And Gary said he had those 10 Maxims because he and Clayton both agreed that those were 10 Maxims that every copywriter needs to know, okay? So I want to make sure every one of you really get it, what Gary and what Clayton wanted you to know, but I'm going to put my little twist on it. Okay, I'm gonna go Carline's, way about it. So keeping the Maxims, but I'm gonna give you some more information and background how we can use it today to help you with your copywriting skills. Sound good?
I sure hope so. I know I'm excited.
You're excited? Okay, great. So I got daughter number 2 here with me, just so I can have a chance to breathe and drink my drink during this hour, but to really help kind of bring it together because she is a copywriter and designer in her own merits and an excellent job that she's doing in that. So I thought Tiara could kind of bring another element to help us do this. So, all right, we're going to get started on Gary Bencivenga's 10 Maxims for copywriting. So Tiara is going to kind of give me the Maxims, and she's going to read the basic one, and then I'm going to take it from there and show you and tell you what I would recommend to do to take it to even another level. Okay? All right. So let's. And oh, by the way, this is Q&A, right? We can do Q&A. If people have questions, they can ask. If so, ask the questions anyway. We'll figure it out, but send them in there. I have my team in the background trying to handle this. But again, like I said, this is our first time. So please bear with us. Please bear with us. We are rookies like you wouldn't believe with this stuff. But anyway, all right, let's get started. Daughter number 2.
Okay, so we got the first one, which is Maxim number 1 from the legendary Gary Bencivenga, where he says you want to make your advertising itself valuable. Why is that important, Mom Boss?
Okay, so that is really important because people will throw away junk. I mean, if you look at something, it doesn't catch your eye, it doesn't draw your interest, it's junk. No matter how much the copywriter was paid, no matter how much time was spent on the creative, no matter how much the client spent on the creative, If it's not catching the attention of your prospect, it is junk. And you got less than 8 seconds to convince your reader that it is not junk, or viewer, it is not junk. So how do you do that? You make the advertising itself very, very valuable. Make it look valuable. I have a story about that, which kind of really hit it for me in the head, was when we launched Health and Healing. It was an alternative health newsletter. We launched that back in 1991. And Clayton wrote the control for it. He wrote a kick butt Magalog. A Magalog, it looks like a magazine. And he wrote that promotion. And it was so successful that we kept mailing it every month. All we did was change the covers. We rotated 3 covers. We just rotated each cover, kept everything else the same. And I was trying to get the exact number. Like, was it 30 million? I don't know how many. They mailed ridiculous amounts of that promotion to pretty much the same list over and over again. Now, my point about value, here's what happened. Customer service kept getting phone calls saying, I didn't get my latest issue of my magazine. And we're like, what are they talking about? We didn't understand at first. Like, what are you talking about? Come to find out, the prospect, the readers, found the promotion so valuable, they actually thought they had subscribed to a magazine. And because we were putting that thing in the mail every month, there was no doubt they were getting it like right in front. We were mailing back to them, but because we changed the cover, it looked different. So people thought, oh, I have a subscription to this thing, and they were reading it, and they actually called when they didn't get it for a month. They said, I didn't get my subscription. And you're like, we don't have a subscription to that one, because they were using the name on the masthead that was in a promotion, not the name of the newsletter. So that is an example of, wow, did Clayton ever take a marketing piece and make it so valuable that we had customers calling us saying they didn't get this month's issue. It also shows how much we mailed it too. So you get what I'm saying? So you have to find ways to make your promotion valuable to people. And the other way you're going to do it is make sure that what you're saying is hitting them where they are right now. So that is what I took out of what Gary's and Gary's maxim about that. Absolutely true. I try to do that with everything I work on. It's like, how do I make this thing stand out so it doesn't get dumped in the trash can? Okay, that was it. All right, that good?
Nicely done. I think that's a little crazy.
Thank you.
Right? Huh. So maxim number 2 is aim your headlines and subject lines at the heavy users. What's that all about?
Okay, so Gary says aim your headlines and subject lines at the heavy users, and then he also added focus on the red hot core of active buyers. I wrote back what he said there. Okay, so I looked at that one. I'm like, absolutely, absolutely true. You always want to aim your headline at your heavy users. The question is 2 things you have to do. Who are your heavy users? Okay, in my case, I write for the 50-plus-year-old market, male and female now. Okay, and so I'm a 50-plus-year-old market. That's what my target is. But are those my heavy users? No.
Really?
No. People think, oh, 50-plus-year-old. No. Come on. If you're 50 years old or 60 years old or 70 years old or 80 years old, you are 50-plus. But is a 50-year-old and an 80-year-old dealing with the same things? I mean, nuances. Maybe health problems, yes, but nuances about it. Okay, at 50, you've got a higher level of energy. You're just kind of developing some issues. Whereas at 80, you probably have been dealing with those things for a long time. So you got to find out who your heavy user is. I will tell you, by the way, let me give you a little hint. If you're writing for the kind of clients I'm writing for, and all of you have been doing that with, by doing my cover test challenges and whatnot, I will tell you this. I have found my heavy user is not 50 years old. Is not 60 years old. My avatar, my heavy user is about 70 years old. So when I write my copy, if I aim it to that 70-year-old sweet spot, Okay, the sweet spot in it. If I write to those folks and I get their attention, guess what? I'm gonna get the other ones. They're gonna fall along. They're gonna come along with me. But if I try to hit a 50-year-old market, I might lose my 70-year-old. And that's my bread and butter. That's my sweet spot, right? So right to that sweet spot. So I'm just tweaking Gary's maxim a little bit and just saying, right to your sweet spot. Know who you are. If your client can help you, because they always want to make it seem like, oh, we're 50 plus. I'm like, come on, dude. Really? Who are you? Who are really buying it? And if they're smart marketers, they know. They have demographics to look at it. And I will bet you're looking at 65 to 75-year-olds as that sweet spot. So write to them and you'll get the others. That was it. So the other thing I said about that was talking about aim headline. So that's a little too generic for me. I tweak it now to say aim a simple headline. A simple headline, so I mean, I can write long-winded headlines and they can work, but if you're trying to just hit it out of the ballpark automatically or as close to perfectly as possible, aim a simple headline to your sweet spot. When you can do that, you are going to just your chances of success are going to just skyrocket. So that's why I got excited, because when I thought about that, that's why we do the cover test challenges with the Crazy Copy System Live Mentoring Show. If you guys don't know what that is, Tiara and I, every Thursday, 1 to 3, we are on live. We have a mentoring show, and it's not like we're going to dance or sing for you, because I can't.
We kind of do that, though. Just putting that out there. It happens every now and then.
We do that a little bit, but that's not what you're paying for. That's not
no.
That's
a bonus.
It's a bonus. It's a booby prize if you hear me singing. But it's a show because I actually show you. I actually take you by the hand and walk you through steps. I have you look over my shoulder. I get you behind the scenes on what's happening with my clients. Am I right, guys? Do I not do that already? So those of you who don't know about it, that's what we do. So then we have a cover test challenge that starts this Thursday. We're going to announce it. And I'm opening it up to give people opportunities to join the Crazy Copy System Live Mentoring Show. And I'm calling this challenge the Write a Simple Headline and Cover Test Challenge. Okay, I really want you to focus on that, because if you can do that, man, you can rock. You can rock. So that is what I'm going to do this next challenge. On Thursday, I'm announcing the product, the client, give all the details, and you can start, and you can be a newbie. You can be an experienced writer. You can join me for that. You have the deadline to join is on, Wednesday at midnight, or 11:59 on Wednesday to join. And if you join by Wednesday, you are in the class and you get started, and we will help you get your point, so you can, give me your first headline, and then who knows, you can get a kick butt winner out of that. Oh, and did I mention I'm paying for this? I didn't mention that, Tiara.
Sorry, no, I was just collecting some questions for you. So yes, yes. Woo, do they get paid?
That you get paid. You get paid. You will get paid if your headline, your simple headline, with the cover test, if that, we get it through to the client and the client okays it and we test it, and in the mail, if it works, I will personally pay you $1,000. $1,000 for your winning headline. And those headlines can be as short as they need to be, as long as they give me a winner. I've had headlines that are 2 words. Work.
Love it.
So we had one recently that was 7 words, one for my copy cubs, right? 7-word headline, worked, and got paid. So anyway, so that is my take on Gary's maxim number 2. It is to aim a simple headline at your sweet spot. Got that?
Yes. Right. So following up with that, we do have a question from Andrew. He wanted to know, do you think that it works for everyone at that point? You're promising more of a cure than prevention by targeting the 70-year-olds.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. I think, depending on what the headline is, again, if I think if a 70-year-old is experiencing the problem, then 50-year-olds are going to be are getting there too, so they can relate to it. I'm just saying that, is if you focus on your 70-year-olds, and if it means you're going to just give a cure for that 70-year-old that may not be applicable to the 50-year-old, that's okay, because if you get more 70-year-olds buying, who are your sweet spot anyway, you're going to get a winner. You're going to get a winner. So I'm saying, so just get tunnel vision when you're trying to think about it. Think about that market. Like I said, if you're going to do this cover test challenge for me on Thursday, it is going to be aimed towards 65 to 75-year-olds. Okay, 65 to 70. So a 50-year-old, like I said, you can let them go. You can let them go because guess what? They're going to age into your bracket. They're going to get older and come there eventually. So aim towards that sweet spot. That is just a numbers game. It just gives you more opportunities for success when you go after that sweet spot. Okay?
I like it.
All right.
So let's go on to number 3.
Let's go on number 3. We got 10 to do. So yeah, let's go through them. And then if we got to ask questions later, we can do it too.
Perfect. So yeah, keep the questions coming because these are really great questions. So maxim number 3 from Gary Bencivenga is, it's easier and much less costly to keep an existing customer than to acquire a new one. Do you want me to keep reading the next part?
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. So I don't want to steal your thunder. But it's lavish value and attention on existing customers to reap rich rewards.
Okay. Now, this is what's interesting is, I get all excited about acquisitions. I'm an acquisition writer. The client pays me to bring in new. What?
Yeah, break down acquisition just in case for our new.
Oh, yeah. No, acquisition, means you're acquiring new customers. Okay. So the client pays me to bring in new customers. It is very difficult to get new customers. That's why the client is going to pay me a lot of money because they need that new customer to fuel and feed the company, right? So it's very sexy because I get to write these cool promotions, like woohoo, big promos. I mean, I got some samples here. I get to write some cool things like this, or I got some cool things like, can you see it like this?
There we go. Use less toilet paper.
Huh?
Use less toilet paper. I should read that.
Hey, this is a killer. So things like this. Hey, I got one that you helped me with, Tiara. Right? Okay, remember this one? We got a new Tiara. I got a new control off of this one.
Shocker.
So these are real. I mean, this is long copy and all this kind of stuff, right? Okay, that's an acquisition piece. It costs a lot of money to pay the copywriter, pay the designer, get it tested, get it designed, get it tested, and then we get the results, right? But, that's exciting for me as a copywriter. But do you know where the real money in the company comes from? It is not acquisition. Because in acquisition, the goal is to break even. Meaning, if the client spends $100,000, he's hoping to get back his $100,000. He might make 10% more, maybe, or, that's great. But really, he'll be very happy, or she will be very happy breaking even. Because breaking even means the costs have been recouped, but the client now has a huge amount of new customers. That becomes his customers that he can then market other products to, okay? So that's why acquisition is important. But the money, the real money for a business, and if the client does not know this, it's going to be out of business very soon. The real money comes in keeping the existing customers. So this is called either the retention. There's different names for it. You can use a renewal. If you're a newsletter, for example, we had renewal, programs in there. Retention marketing, meaning retain, keep your existing customers. So now you see something like this. Like I said, it's really cool and exciting and funky cool and all that. That's awesome, right? Very expensive piece. But take a look at something like this. I just found this and I got this. Look at this. This is an envelope with a 2-page letter.
Send it in the order form, boss. You're all over the place.
I can't tell. I'm dyslexic. So here's the order form as part of the copy, right? So you have, and there's a guarantee. So really, you only got about 1 page to really make your argument or whatever you're gonna try to sell, right? So this piece right here, and along with a business reply. Sorry. Go to the right, Carline. Business reply envelope. So you have an envelope, regular envelope, a carrier to send it out in, a business reply envelope, and you have your sales letter, which is just 2 pages. Would you believe me if I told you that this promotion that is now mailed to existing customers This is more valuable. This brings in more money. Where am I going? This brings in more money than my promotions. This will bring in more money. Why? Why do you think that's the case? I'll tell you why. Because for you to mail an acquisition piece means you have to rent the names of your competitors' products. Rent the names on their list. They have to charge a hefty fee for it. So you got to rent the names. You got to pay a copywriter pretty hefty fees with royalties usually to get that done. Pay the designer to get it done. Then you got to mail and you got to test it and you hope you break even. This can be written by a B level, even a C level copywriter. Because this is not acquisition. This is not like, hey, let me tell you why I'm so great. Let me tell you why I'm so awesome. Let me do this. Let me do this. I'm not trying to get your attention. This is just a nice little conversation. You're already one of our customers. Now let me introduce you to something else. So low key selling. Just kind of, here's a suggestion. You've liked a 3-month supply of the product. Hey, why don't you get the 6-month supply? We're having a special sale on it. So it's low key. And this is what I'm trying to get a lot of my writers to get into, doing more of the retention stuff, because this will get you in the door if you want to write acquisition copy. But this is actually the most profitable part of the company, for the company, because it's low cost. You don't have to rent the names because you're going to your own names, your own house file. You don't have to pay a copywriter hefty fees plus royalties. You can pay a B-level copywriter a flat fee to write it, and you're done. Not a whole lot design-wise. You can do that stuff on your basic Word document. For the most part, is your designs there. And no design, no design, no heavy duty mailing costs. This thing is like it's nothing. It's just one page in an envelope. Whereas this sucker is heavy. Okay, so that's what it meant. Back to that Maxim, where it is easier, to keep an existing customer than to try to go out and get new ones. Now, don't get it twisted. You do need to bring in new blood to your business, right? But some companies focus only on acquisition, but they're not looking at it like, okay, you got them. What you gonna do with them? Mm-hmm. It's like, you got me now. Woo me. Tell me other things you can offer me, because now I trust you. I've made one purchase from you. I'm going to be more likely to make more purchases from you because I know who you are. I like your product. You've proven to be credible to me. So yeah, if you send me another offer versus somebody else I don't know, I'm going to go with who I know. So absolutely true. Amazing. Now, is this sexy writing? Nah, it's not. It's not sexy writing. It's like, come on, I have no room. I need to say all this stuff. I have no room. Sidebars and for my pull quotes. So what? Doesn't matter. Ugly works. Remember that, right? So retention part of the business is the huge one. So when Gary says it is easier to keep, if you want to grow your business, keep your existing customer base, because they will buy and buy and buy from you again. And the overhead is not there. Got it?
Okay.
All right.
Ready to go to number 4?
All righty.
All right. So Maxim number 4, a gifted product is mightier than a gifted pen. The magic is in the product.
Oh, that is so, so true. In so many ways have I seen this. I've seen copywriters, kind of, I call it, they got that superhero syndrome where they think that they can write copy to sell anything. Okay. First of all, my question is, why do you want to do that? How about you sell quality products, not crappy products? And then second is, put your ego in check. Don't be stupid. Okay. So in this case, if the product is amazing, if the product delivers on its promises, if the product is credible, the product has great ingredients in it, if the product has all of these things, that's a gifted product. That product can, in essence, help you sell it beyond your wildest dreams. But if it's a crappy product and you have to create benefits for it, if you have to sort of kind of puff it up when it really shouldn't be, then that's a hard sell. And somebody's, oh, I can sell anything. I can sell it. Yeah, you probably could sell it and you probably would work, but then now you're putting a crappy product on the market. So don't do that either. Focus on, what is the product about? What does the product offer? Do we have testimonials that show that this product is legit? So by doing those things, you're going to see that a gifted product will make it easier for a gifted copywriter, to sell. A gifted product will make it easier for a junior copywriter to sell. A gifted product will make it easier for a brand spanking newbie to sell, because all you have to do is focus on what the product does and then turn it into a benefit for your prospect. Whereas if something is crappy, then you got to struggle to figure out what are you going to say about it and whatnot. So that was true. That's how I look at that on the basis of go for quality products. And I know if you're just starting off, you may not have the option. You may just be, well, this is the product we need you to sell, but check it out. Make sure it's legit. Ask for testimonials. Make sure they have 100% money back guarantee. If a client's not offering 100% money back guarantee, that's a red flag that the client doesn't trust his own product. Okay, so it's like, oh, he's just trying to get the cash up front and acquisition, and then just bail. You want clients who are all about acquisition and retention. They're in there for the long haul. Yes.
So follow up with that, John had asked a question. The better you can monetize the back end, the more aggressive you can be on the front end, correct?
Give me a ding, 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 ding.
Ding, ding, ding,
yes.
ding, 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 ding.
If your company's making money, then you can afford to go with the acquisition and get more. So if the company's making really money, instead of breaking even, the client may decide to say, you know what, we're willing to take a loss. Just instead of coming in at a 1.0 response rate, Carline, you can come in at a 0.9 or a 0.8 or even a 0.7, meaning they're willing to take a 30% loss up front because they know their back end is on point, and they will not only recoup that money, they will just make a whole lot more from it. And they just say, give us the bodies, bring us the bodies, and we will take care of them. I love those kind of clients. I love them. And I work with them too. So that's great. So it's like they understand, bring us the bodies and we have enough. We will cross-sell, cross-market to them. We will, upsell them. We will introduce them to new stuff. We'll do all that, but just bring us the body. So they'll say, we'll take a hit. If you can bring in 70% of acquisition, we'll call that a control, the winner, and we will take it from there. So absolutely, you have the money coming in on the back end, you can afford to take a loss up front to be able to bring new bodies in.
Mm-hmm. So I just to follow up with this particular maxim number 4, Gary also brought out something interesting about how advertising can only convey the product's advantage. And he uses the illustration that you as the copywriter are the jockey and the product is your horse, but you got to learn how to spot and sign a faster horse. Absolutely.
You got to go for the winner. Go for the thoroughbred.
Okay, cool. All right. Didn't know if you wanted to elaborate on that.
Well, no, it's fine. I got to let you talk about something. You're here, right?
Got you. Okay, so you want to move on to number 5?
Number 5. Let's rock and roll.
Right. Advertising is multiplied salesmanship. A superstar direct response copywriter can close 1,000 or 100,000 clients at once. Is that true?
Absolutely. Know your power as a copywriter. You think about it. If I were to go to you, Tiara, and say, I have a product. I have a product here. I got a product. Okay. Here you go. I go, hey, Tiara.
Hi.
Let me tell you. Do not make me laugh. Okay. Don't make me laugh. Throw me off. We got to get this done. All right. So, so here's a product. Love this client. Love this company. So, hey, Tiara, you feeling kind of drained? You feeling like got a memory loss? You feeling like you just need some help kind of getting a boost going on for you? Is that how you feel, Tiara?
Yeah, story of my life.
Okay, well, let me tell you, Tiara, if you try this, it's going to help you do this, and that, and you're going to feel a difference in just about within a day. Would you like to try that, Tiara?
You're joking. In one day?
One day, just one day. This will work for you. Just one day. So, would you like to try it?
I mean, sure, for one day.
Sold. There you go. You got it, right?
Okay.
All right. I just sold one person. I take that exact copy, make it a little better, by the way. Take that exact copy that I just gave to Tiara, and we take it and we don't show it to Tiara, but we give it to hundreds of thousands of people. In turn, those maybe even millions of people can get this promotion. I'm going to, instead of just talking to you and convincing one person, I am now going to try to convince the same copy, but I'm going to send it out to 1 million people or 10 million people. And Clayton's copies 30 million. The response that I'm going to get from the same words that I just used with you is going to be phenomenal compared to me trying to sell Tiara and then somebody else and then somebody else and then somebody else. So that's what he says. Salesmanship in print is multiplied marketing. So know your value as a copywriter. You are very powerful. You can convey a strong message that can help millions of people with your copy. A salesman, a regular door-to-door salesman, or any kind of salesman on one-on-one is not going to have that kind of impact. So that is the power and the impact that you can have as a copywriter.
Yeah. And I think you're right. Just with using your words and images, that's the power that you get from that level of salesmanship. Okay. So let's rock and roll to maxim number 6. Great ads are built on deep research.
Yeah, that is, I mean, you are not going to be successful as a copywriter if you do not invest your time in the research part of the creative process. Okay. I hate research. I hate it. However, I also know if I don't do research, I will not get a winner. So I get over myself and say, hey, you want a winner? Yes, I do. Then you need to get your butt and get the research going. Now, I will say I do use a researcher at times. I have no problems using researchers. However, do not get it twisted. Your researcher is not going to solve your problem for you. There's a way to use your researcher that makes sense for you. But you still have to dig in and find out, well, what is so great about this thing? What is so wonderful about it? So you have to read the previous promotions if they exist. You have to dig deep and find out, well, why are these ingredients so important in this formula? You have to understand who you are talking to. What are their pain points? What do they get up every morning worried about? And how do you draw that? So all of that is in the research stage of your creating process. So what I will do is I'm doing my own research, but let's say I need to use a researcher, but I will use that researcher to help me find specific research, because that may take a little more time, and I can have a researcher find it instead of me spend that time to do it. For example, I'm writing about something great, something fantastic, and I'm like, dang it, I need a study to support this. So I will put down brackets, find a study to support this promise I'm making, bracket, right? And so I leave it at that, and then I go on and keep writing my copy. So then I'll contact my researcher. Right now, Maria Chirac is one of my researchers. She's on my team, but she was one of my researchers. Put Maria's information down there, please, so that at least if you guys are interested in a researcher, you can get in touch with her. But I will say, hey, Maria, I'll give her a list of things. I said, I need you to find me a study that proves this. I need you to tell me what's so great about this particular nutrient. So I'll give her a list of specific questions that I want answers to. And I turn it over to her to research and find it for me. And I keep going with my copy. Because if I start looking for that particular piece of research, I tell you this story all the time where, I'm an ENFP, which means I can go all over the place, right? So if I'm looking at, one time I was doing research on joint pain. I was looking for joint pain. I was looking for specifically on gout. So I'm going in, I'm researching gout, and I'm going, okay, gout is it's pretty much arthritis of the foot, a big toe, right? The foot. I'm like, foot? Oh, shoes. I need some shoes. Next thing you know, I'm on a website buying shoes. I've totally forgotten that I'm researching gout. So this is what happens to me when I do my research sometimes. So I need to get a little more focused to help me find specific targeted answers, what I'm looking for. So that's how I use my researchers. I say, find me X. I don't say, tell me what's so wonderful about this product, because that's not the researcher's job. That's your job as a copywriter. And as you are kind of finding out what's so great about that product, you may go, oh, it's got X. This is what's really it. And you start going, you're writing, and you hit a dead end. You're like, that's not it. Bounce off that dead end. You turn another direction. So even as you're researching and writing, you may find that you go in one direction, it's not right. It's okay. That's part of the creative process. So you just switch over to another direction. You keep going it. A researcher can't do that for you. Okay, you have to go through that process. So absolutely, research is critical. And I tell people, you don't have, when you say, I've got writer's block, I said, it's not writer's block. It's a research deficiency.
Ooh.
Okay, that's how strong I feel about research. You don't know what to say. How come you don't know what to say? Because you haven't done your research. So go back to the stage of doing your research, and it will take you where you need to go. Am I clear on that? Research is key.
Wow. Okay. So that kind of helps too, because the struggle is for writers that they get so lost in the research and they go into the dark tunnel and then they get overwhelmed and nothing ends up happening. So do you have any tips for that? Just for that aspect of it? Because we have ones that love the research, but
oh yeah. So you don't over research to the point where you don't ever write the copy, because you always keep thinking, oh, I need more research. No, stop. That is procrastination. So you can use research as, and you can use it against you. Like, I need more. No, stop. When you know what the product is about, when you find a hook for the product, start writing. And as you're writing, you'll say, I need to know more information on this. Put it in brackets. You'll get that later, but then keep going on with the writing, and you can research it or get a researcher to help you out later. But that's the point. So don't sit there and spend, I'm spending 3 months researching this product. Oh my gosh, I would that is bore me to death. Okay. I would lose interest if that was it. So no. Don't feel you have to have tons and tons of research. You just have to have research to support your theme, and the research will help you find your theme. And so that it works together. It's like a nice little circle.
Okay. So I'm going to tie in Benji's question into the next maxim, because he was asking how deep should you go with research, but maxim number 7 is develop a process. So you want to tie those together with his question?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Gary says, what did Gary say? I didn't write down what he said. You remember
develop a process. Answer, why is this product superior? Why should I believe you? Why should I act now? Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's what he says. I take what Gary says to just bring it down to 2 words. I'm drinking my water. I'm so parched. Bring it down to 2 words. He asks, why is this, what did he say again? Why is this product superior? And what else? Why is this product superior? Why should I believe you? Why should I act now? Okay, I take all that and I just say, so what? Answer, so what? And ask it like you are a little snotty-nosed teenager who thinks she knows everything about everything else. Like, I'm not talking about you, Tiara. Oh. Not anymore. so anyway, it's like, put your hand on your hip and just go, so what? Attitude, so what? Why do I care? Why do I want to do this? So what? Why are you bothering me with this? So what? So what? Think about it that way. And now you address it so that you can answer those questions as far as why your reader should stop what he or she is doing right now and read what you have to say. Why should your reader believe you? Why should your reader do what you're saying? Act now. Why? You as the copywriter have the responsibility to answer those questions. And if you don't answer those questions, you won't get the sale. You don't have the luxury of having your prospect in front of you. Like I was showing Tiara about sell the product here. If she had a question, she could ask me about it. And I'm right here to answer it. You don't have that luxury when you're writing or you're, with copy. You have to figure out, what is my prospect going to have going on in his head, and how do I answer that so that he can continue reading? Because if you don't answer a question that's pressing for your prospect, you're not going to get the sale. They're going to go, whatever, and move on.
So that so what is really, really important. So that's my process. My process is answer so what. So however deep you have to go in your research to answer so what, so be it.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no like, oh, you need to get 100 page of research. Don't ever get 100 page of research. Who's gonna read all that? So my point. So write it that way, okay? So Gary's was great about, great ads are built on deep research. Absolutely true, right? But my twist on it is just answer so what. When you answer so what, you are going to create your research outline. Why is it so great? Why do I want it? Who's buying this stuff? What is their biggest concern right now? What is the resident dominant emotion that Clayton talks a lot about in his in his whole life story about copywriting. He talks about that a lot, and we talk about it in the Clayton Makepeace Epic Tribute a lot too. But what is that dominant emotion? It is not a feature. Okay, it is always a benefit. Okay.
Now, going on with that process, he also brought out another good point that you want to rewrite your copy until it sings. So for that process, that was part of his developing the process for Maxim number 7. So what do you say? I mean, we got some copywriters that get so nervous about, it's not ready, it's not good yet. So he said rewrite it till it sings.
Yeah, it doesn't mean keep rewriting it. Because again, that's another stage of procrastination. You're scared to turn in the copy. So the rewrite, I take that twist with the rewrite, meaning do your best, stop. That's why we have deadlines, because you got to stop at some point. Do your best and stop. Get it tested. How is it doing in the market? Then you can tweak it. That's a rewrite. You can tweak the copy. If you can get at least a good, strong idea out and the customer say, oh, I like this, then you can always go and say, let's test this. Let's test a new headline. Let's test a new lead. Let's test a new premiums or special reports. Let's do those things. That to me is my rewrite process. Okay. But get that thing done. Copy is never perfect. It is abandoned. Okay. You have to cut it loose. Don't keep thinking, oh, if I just find the right word, that will make a difference. It won't. Trust me. I mean, I've sent out stuff. We were trying to hurry up and get a launch done one time, and I literally had less than 2 weeks to get the copy written and designed. And it was like, okay, go. And God went with it, got it all done. Got the designer, got it all out there. We got it tested, and it worked. Right. Okay. So then it's like, okay, we know we've got something here. Now let me take the time and go back and see what I can do to tweak it. So I went back and I just said, okay, let me change that. Or what was I thinking about here? I should add more credibility here. So I had a little more time and I rewrote a lot of the stuff in there. We tested that one and it beat the initial launch. So it's okay to me. It's my copy. I can beat myself all I want. I still get the royalty checks, right? But if I had waited to get it perfect, the client would have missed the opportunity to test the product, get it out there first in the market, which was a big plus. And then we have time. We had time. We didn't have time there. It's like, we got to knock this out and get it done. And so we saw, oh, this is working. We have life here. Can it be better? Yep. Now give me the time to do it. So I spent a few more weeks working on it and getting it done. And we tested that, like I said, and it beat the original launch. But we got it out there. We hit a nerve. We put ourselves there as like, oh, we're the leaders in this niche, and that's what you need. So your copy is never going to be perfect. Okay, it's never going to be perfect. It will have typos. Lines will get lost. All those things. Trust me, they're all like, But the bottom line is, remember, your prospect is not going to read every single word you write anyway. Your prospect is scanning and trying to find what was interesting to them. So give them interesting things to read.
Okay. So maxim number 8, polish your skills daily. Consider your craft as a partner for life. Write every day.
You can't be a copywriter if you're not writing. It is as you have to write. That whole process, that brain and the hand connection is good. That's why a lot of young writers are told, write out copy by hand. Write it out by hand. Why? Because it's connecting with the hand. There's a connection happening in the brain when you do that kind of stuff. Now, I don't write my copy by hand. I put my copy in the computer. I mean, I type it up, right? So same concept though, put it in there, do it. And if you don't have a project to work on, if you're brand new, test your copywriting skills out. You got a defective product and you want a refund for it. Write them a convincing letter to say, I would like a refund, and you take your time. Set up your argument. All right. That's sales copy. You know, if you write that sales copy to the person to say, this is not meet my qualifications, please refund my money, or whatever the case may be. If you send that to them and they come back and refund your money, guess what? That's a control. You won. That's a control. So testimonials, you know, you try a product out and the product is great or the product is not great. Write a testimonial. Write a testimonial about it. And so take your time. Look at it like a copywriter. Put a headline on that testimonial. Put a, convincing story. Not just like, oh, this was great. Love it. No, that's what everybody else does. Use and practice your copywriting skills. I thought this was great because, XYZ. For example, if you've got my book, if you haven't got my book, you better get my book. But if you have my book, go to Amazon and give me a testimonial. And I want to put a headline on it. I want a powerful headline testimonial. Then go in and say, Carline's book, My Life as a 50-plus-year-old white male, is awesome because I've learned these 3 key elements or 3 things in the book. Or, wow, she amazed me because she delivered XYZ. Make it interesting. Practice it. That's testimonial writing. You're going to have to know how to do that anyway. So go ahead, do it for me too. I'd appreciate it. All right?
Might as well.
I had a nice little plug there, right?
All right. Ready for maxim number 9, Mom Boss?
Number 9. I'm sorry. What is it?
All right. Collect maxims like this that grow your knowledge about copywriting. Get them from any source necessary and review them daily.
Okay. All right. That was an interesting maxim that Gary put there. I wasn't expecting that when I was listening to him saying maxim number 9, collect other maxims. So I thought about that and I'm going, well, that just makes sense because everybody's different. So there are going to be different principles, maxims or principles, and different principles that you might find it's just right for you. All right. So create your own personal, maxims that resonate with you. For example, my principal maxim that I feel has made me successful as a copywriter is very simple. It's very simple, but when I do it, it works. So that is my number 1 principle and number 1 maxim is.
You can tell us?
No. Yes, I am. I'm going to tell you. I will tell you that number 1 maxim is write like you talk. Basic, right? Basic. But do you realize how many writers don't do that? How many writers try to impress you with these big words that you don't understand what they're saying? These long sentences that involve a lot of commas. I hate commas. Lots of commas. All these. It's like, what are you saying? If I have to read the sentence more than once to understand what you're trying to say, your prospect won't do that. They'll just go, what? Psh, move it. Right? So write like you talk. That is my maxim. That it reminds me when I read my copy, I'm going, if this does not sound like I am having a one-on-one conversation with you right now in this room with me, I got to rewrite it. It's not right. So that is my maxim. So I'm like, so Gary collects his, I've collected one. I have another one that I love. And it is, what would a great copywriter do? I actually have it posted right now. I'm kidding. I have all my maxims posted in front of me. Look at this. See this? It's on a post-it. Where is the mirror? I don't know where the camera is.
Okay, hold it. There you go. There you go.
What would a great copywriter do? I have it taped because it kept falling off the post-it note, and it's right in front of my screen. And I have it there because I get stuck. And I'm going, I have my, imposter syndrome kicks in. Like, oh man, they're going to find out I really suck now, and I have that happening. And so I just look at that straight ahead and go, what would a great copywriter do? If it's not you, Carline, then who? Who's a great copywriter? Put that person in your mind. What would Clayton Makepeace do? What would Gary Bencivenga do? And then I will then do it. I will do, because they will not give up. They will find out where the benefit is, the product. They will find the dominant resonant emotion for the customer. They will do their research So I'm like, if you can't trust yourself, then trust these, these gurus and do it that way. So that has been for years on my, right in front of my screen. That is a maxim that I live by. Another one, I have other ones. Let me see what else. Movement beats meditation. That was a Gary Halbert that I had learned from Gary Halbert many, many years ago. Movement beats meditation. And then another one that I learned from my days at Phillips, which I got two of them here. The other one I learned from my days at Phillips is make people better off in ways that they desire and are willing to pay for. That was from Bob King, my mentor at Phillips. So these are the two, movement beats meditation. And this one right there, right in front of my screen, reminds me, movement beats meditation is get off your butt and start writing. Okay. Mm-hmm. If you don't start writing something, even if it's sucky copy, just write it. You're doing it. You can always fix it. But if you just stop and don't do anything, I gotta meditate on this. I gotta let it just kind of incubate in my head. Right. Movement beats meditation. And then think about who your prospect is and how do you deliver something that they view that is valuable, that they're willing to pay for. I got more, but that's pretty good.
So just a quick follow-up for the ones, one of your maxims that you gave about just write or write like how you talk. Benji wanted to know, do you minimize slang when you write like you talk?
Well, remember, who are you talking to? If you're going to use a slang that your sweet spot market doesn't know, then you're going to lose them. So first of all, I don't use profanity. If I do, it's like euphemism to some degree that they know what I want to say, but I don't do that. I don't do that because I don't think my market would appreciate it. And I don't want to risk offending my market because I can find another word, that doesn't have to involve profanity in there. That's one thing. So I will use examples that I know my market can relate to. So I'm not going to talk like I'm talking to a 20-year-old and, like, hey, like your latest, iPhone 10 does XYZ or 12, whatever number is on now. If I'm not going to talk about stuff like that because I'm going, look, I'm a 50-plus-year-old market and you're losing me right now. So you're definitely going to lose my sweet spot, people. I'm going to use examples, illustrations, and words that I know my sweet spot will understand and appreciate and nod the head to, like, yep.
Cool. We got a couple questions coming in, and feel free to continue to put your questions in the chat because I will give the Mom Boss some time to give you those answers. So do you want to finish up with
let's get to number 10? We're trying to stay on schedule here.
Perfect. So maxim number 10, compete with the Immortals. Do you want me to keep reading?
Yes. What did Gary say?
Clayton rose to this challenge throughout his career, and he would like you to compete with the Immortals also.
That's very true. I personally experienced that with Clayton. I mean, a copywriting immortal, like Gary also is too. Brilliant people. And Clayton always challenged me to, go up against them. If I didn't agree with something, tell them why. And if I had did you guys catch the episode of which one won, the most recent one about, I'm going against my mentor, right? That was last week, I think. If you haven't seen that, watch it again. The one and only time that I actually went head on with Clayton. Head on. Because we had a project to work on. It's called Instant Sunshine. And usually I would write the copy and then Clayton would, kind of proof it or whatnot, or make edits to it, and then we would send it to the client. But when we were talking about the direction to go with the client, with the product, I had a very different approach than he did, and I felt very strongly about my approach. And I told him. Now he could have squashed me like a bug and said, "You're just a peon. I'm paying you. Do what I say." All right, true, and I would have done it. But instead, he said, "You feel really strongly about this, don't you?" I'm like, "Yes, I do." And he's like, "All right, write it like you want to do it. Go for it. And I'm going to write my version." And then he said, "I'll squash you like a bug then." But he gave me the option to write a headline, put a new lead on it. And he wrote his headline and a new lead on it. And then the body copy, everything else was exactly the same. Okay. And that was the one and only time I went head on with my copywriting hero. But again, if his ego was like, I'm all that, what are you talking about? You don't know nothing. you know, we wouldn't have had the experience that we got. I'm not going to tell you the outcome because you should go check it out on my YouTube channel, which one won. And it's the one we just did last Wednesday. And you'll see Clayton and my photo right on the thumbnail. So that's an example. And so even now, like I got my writers here with the Crazy Copy System Live Mentoring Show. Whenever we do a launch like we're doing right this week, whenever we do this launch to say, hey, I want you to beat my control. I want you to win. I want you to beat it. I will help you. You know, you give me your headline and I would go, you know what? You can make it stronger by doing this. You can do this to it. You can do that. Am I right, guys? Am I right? So I help you to create a strong headline, a strong cover test to beat me. To beat me. I want you to beat me. All right. My client wants you to beat me. And then I'm going to pay you when you beat me.
Oh,
isn't that crazy?
It sounds crazy.
That is insane. But that's the same concept of here's your opportunity. I'm not calling myself an immortal by any chance. Trust me. I've been doing this for over 22 years. I still think I'm new. Okay. I'm learning every day with copy. I do know a lot, but I am not looking like I'm up here. I'm looking like I want to look up at people because there's a saying that says if you're in the room and you're the smartest person in that room, then you're in the wrong room. Okay, so I want to be in the right room with other people who are way smarter than me so I can keep learning because it's a constant stuff. Like I said, I know what I'm talking about. I got 22 years of experience saying that I did it. I hit the A-level copywriting, A-level and I won awards for it. Okay, I'm not gonna brag, but 2015 AWAI Copywriter of the Year. Whoop, whoop. So I'm just saying is I know what I'm doing. However, I never stop and say, well, you don't know what you're doing because you're brand new, because I have seen newbies come up with an idea that has kicked butt, right? And I want that to be the case. Ideas are not limited to because of experience. Ideas come and you've got one, I can help you put it together so that you have a chance. And now you can actually write that headline with the cover test, which I'll look at it. I'll help you strengthen it as much as I possibly can. Then we'll get it to my client. We'll look at it. My client will say, okay, Carline, what do you want to do? And I will tell them, let's go for it. And then I'll get my designers to design this for you. So you have a sample. So even if you don't win, you still have a winning. I mean, you have a sample you can use for your portfolio. And remember, in this business, clients know not everything works. So you don't have to feel like, oh, it didn't work. No, here's a sample. Okay, that's all, you can talk about that. So you have a sample, but if that sample gets tested and it actually wins, you get, oh my goodness, you get $1,000 from me. I pay you $1,000 and I'm so proud of you. And you get to be on our wall of fame and you get my t-shirt that says, I'm on a roll. I beat Carline's control. I don't have it with me. It's over there somewhere. I got to get it, but whatever.
I have it with me. It's in my closet. Just thought I'd put it out.
Tiara beat my control and she got a t-shirt. Tiara did it. We have other people who beat my control and I sent them the t-shirt along with their checks. And I'm so happy. And I want to help you because I want one day you to say, when you're a successful copywriter, it was Carline Twist who gave me a shot. I really appreciate her.
And life. Oh, sorry. I digress.
And I gave you life too. You're right. So that's what I love, that Maxim. I truly try to live by it and saying, help young writers get that shot, get that foot in the door. That's why in my Crazy Copy System Live Mentoring Show and with this specific $1,000 write a simple headline challenge we have going on, it is to get you a sample, get your foot in the door, get you paid so that you can, yes. I mean, that check coming in, man, you're like, somebody thinks I'm good, and the market does too, because you beat my control. All right. Enough about me. Go ahead.
Okay. So I just had, there was 2 questions that came in from Uber Copywriter that we wanted to make sure we got. When you were talking about the mailings, and Uber Copywriter wants to know, what does it cost per piece, the ballpark, to mail a front end 24 to 32 page Magalog? But just kind of a ballpark range.
Yeah, I used to know that. I'm sorry. It's going to be at least somewhere like 50 cents to up to 65 cents. But I mean, again, it's ballpark because depending on if it's going to be if it's color like this is a 32 pager. Okay, this is a 32 pager versus, so that's called a regular Magalog size, right? like kind of 8 by 10, a little bit longer, kind of that kind of size. Whereas this one is called a Slim Jim. So it's narrower to mail. And this one ends up being, this was a 40 pager, but this is actually cheaper to mail than this one because of the, the size and everything else and the postage regulations. So you can get away with this one with more pages. So that might be cheaper. It may just be a simple black and white note. You just know this is all 4-color processing, but you may just have a black and white, which will be only 2-color. Mm-hmm. And so all of that are factors that go into it to make the decision. But it's not cheap to get this stuff in the mail. That's why my client is willing to test your samples. And I tell my my tribe, my crazy tribe, that look, my client is willing to invest at least $25,000 to test your idea. Who does that? Right? I mean, a brand new rookie or somebody who's trying to break into the health market, you got an idea. I like the idea. And it's like, okay, great, let's do it. This one was an idea. I work with the writer on it. 7 words on this headline. Total words on this entire cover test. This is a cover test. What I mean, this is it, the cover test, right? Everything else in the inside is the same, and we test different covers. You will be writing a cover like this, and this is 35 words. 7 words in the headline, 35 words total, and it kicked butt.
Love it. And then one other question that we had was, when the spokesperson for your product is a medical doctor, are you speaking in the doctor's voice or in Carline's voice?
Carline, the doctor becomes Carline's voice, but I'm speaking as the doctor. Okay. So my voice is you're gonna know my packages. If you study my packages enough, you know my packages. I have my own imprint to them. However, I have to realize it's the doctor who's the guru. So I am going to speak doctor. I'm not gonna say, oh, dang, because doctors shouldn't be saying that necessarily, but it is a matter of knowing who the doctor is. I will talk about the doctor's background and all that kind of stuff, but I'm still going to have my attitude to it. I'm going to have that doctor know what he's talking about. It's not going to be medicalese at all. And most of the doctors I talk to, if you heard how they speak and then you saw how they wrote, you wouldn't buy anything because they're doctors. They're not writers, So I'm going to take the doctor, understand his direction and his mission, and I'm going to make it so that you want to buy it. So it's kind of a combination. It's the doctor, but it's always Carline kicking in there to help. All right.
Yeah. You're all done with your questions.
Are we done?
Yeah.
We did. Okay. We started a little late, so I'll try to stick on schedule because I respect your time. Thank you guys so much for coming. Let me know. Come on, put comments on the YouTube, so I can read and what you have to think about it. Plus, YouTube loves that kind of stuff. So please help me out with that part. Comment, but let me know what you like. If you guys think I should do this more, I'm open to maybe doing this on a regular basis. But if I don't hear from you, then I don't know. And if I don't know, then I won't do it. Because I got to take time out of writing copy to put this together for you. But I think it's really good because I know a lot of you are saying, we want to see you. We want to talk with you. We want to do this. So this is a way for you to kind of get to know how I roll. If you want to really kick butt here, you should join my Crazy Copy System Live Mentoring Show. And you will really see how me and Tiara just go on fire here, to be able to help you, to not only make money, earn while you learn, but to get behind the scenes of what it's like to be, a working copywriter, A-level, working with kick butt clients. And I share that with you. You guys share some emails with you guys. I share my frustrations. I share my victories. I do that for you because I want you to kind of get a feel for what it is like. So I encourage you, Crazy Copy System Live Mentoring Show. I don't know what we put the email, the website in there. Is it members.carlinecole.com/1000?
Okay.
If you go there, you'll see the link to find out more about it now. So do it if you're interested, if you're ready. Or at least watch the video about it. I'm not going to talk about it right now, but check out the video. And if you can join me on this opportunity, this is the time to do it. We're going to have some fun. It's going to help you get some money.
Because we don't know when these opportunities come around. They just come when they come.
When they come, they come.
Question, I'm sorry. Yeah.
What's the question?
How often do we do the challenges?
Well, my client says we need a new cover, Carline. So what I do, usually I would write the covers and I would turn them into the client. I got my clients to agree. I said, hey, I'm working with some kick butt junior writers, newbie writers. If I can get them to deliver, good covers for you, will you test their covers instead of me just giving you my cover? So I'm actually giving you a slot that I would be taking on and writing it to keep my promotions going on. But I'm saying, nope, I can help new writers break into this business, help them. And so nothing's going to go to the client unless I love it. Okay. It's not because my reputation on the line too here. So it's going to go, but it's great because you'll see the process. We'll work together. And so when a client says to me, we haven't done one of these in a couple of months. So it's not like all the time. When the next time we do it, I don't know. It's just when it's needed to get done and I can incorporate you. Sometimes I have to just knock it out real quick and I don't have the time to turn it around and have you guys join me on this. Sometimes it's Carline, we need a new cover by tomorrow. I'm like, oh, shoot. Okay. And I will work on it and get it done. This one, I asked the client, give me some time so I can bring my writers in because I think they can do a great job for you. And my clients were like, yep, they've done it before. So, okay. So I can't tell you when, but it's been a couple of months since we were able to even do one before. So I'm really excited that we start this one on Thursday, 1 p.m. So you have a Wednesday, 11:59 p.m. deadline to join on this amazing cover test challenge. You can check my YouTube. You'll see a thumbnail, $1,000. Write a simple headline. You can watch that and get more information on it. If you're ready for this opportunity, come join me. If you're not, keep going to my YouTube channel and getting as much free stuff as you can. But this opportunity will take you to the next level. It will do it. It will do it for you. So anyway, that's enough about that. I just want to say thank you. First of all, thank you, daughter number 2, that we kind of threw this together last minute. And I said, Tiara, help me with this. I don't know what we're doing yet. Let's just go through Gary's Maxims and we can really help our writers get better on that. So thank you. Love you. You're still my favorite number 2 daughter.
Oh, thank you.
And I want to thank my team also for just hustling and getting this done. Cindy Hill, you're the bomb. Cindy figured out how to do StreamYard in less than 2 hours. That we got this going on. So I'm really excited about that. And for the rest of my team, Sandy Ferguson, thank you, Boo. She came through for me again. And Maria Chirac, who's my researcher as well as our techie kind of person, and our customer service team. Thank you. Got JL Cole, daughter number 3, hustling on Facebook, getting stuff done. We got Benji Selby, who's helping me, those cool, funky thumbnails and those videos with all the crazy stuff in there. That is Benji doing it for us. So, did I forget anybody? That's our team. I didn't forget anybody, did I? That's it. I got everybody. I forgot you. I'm sorry. I love you. But anyway, thank you guys so much. Let me know if you want me to do this. Blow up YouTube with your comments. Blow it up. Let me know. If it's resounding yes, I will do it again. Okay? So until then, bye. See you next time.